They hosted Adelaide here and were unceremoniously dumped in the final game of the season by the eventual premiers. So both these teams trying to press their finals claims from the opening bell here this afternoon. Scott works her way free of Alicia King, puts it up the centre of Casey Fields. Gilroy, well read. She's been uber impressive on debut.
Every player on the ground inside North Melbourne's forward half, Nudge.
Goldrick couldn't gather. Garner sweating on Hanks, almost pushed her out of the way. Goldrick back there for support. Ashmore lurking off the contest here, hoping for the handball receive. North shuffle it forward. Downey goes back to Gay. Corkscrews one right up the centre of the ground. Bruton couldn't gather. Chance for Newman. Dora Jar for the speedster. Bumped out of it. Gilroy wanted the hold. Hoare has to take on the tackle from Gilroy. Fumbles it forward. The D's are out here. Zanker's in an acre of space. Needs the kind bounce. Gets it. Got 10 metres on every opponent. Runs to the goal square. Paddles it in. Melbourne back in front.
Great transition right from defence as well, so really great to see that Melbourne got their players on the run and right out the back over there and to Eden Zanker, and great finish from her.
Well, North Melbourne did a brilliant job at squeezing every single player into their forward half, but Melbourne transitioned beautifully. They got the interception, kicked it out to grass in front of Eden Zanker, and a beautiful finish, putting the D's in front.
Melbourne's second inside 50 of the quarter. As we head boundary side, Maddie Gay's been good enough to join us on the headset from the Melbourne camp. Maddie, perfect start to the final term.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. Just our transition from defence into the forward 50 and Zanks just finishing off. It was fantastic.
And you're doing some really good contest work there, Mads. You sound a little bit puffed as well.
Hey, so how you going? Yeah. It's not too bad out there. It's pretty hot, but glad you're behind the microphone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, keep up the good work and enjoy the rest of the game.
Good win last night too.
Thanks.
Bye.
You two, like you're sitting around lattes. Maddie Gay joining us on the headset. Only a 1 point ball game at the moment, which is cool as can be. Thanks to Maddie Gay and also all the other players who've given us their time throughout the afternoon as Heath sets sail, finds Scott low down. She can gather and keep going. Melbourne, again, reverting back to type from the second quarter. Heath continues to run, chips forward. Randall took front spot on Kemp. It works its way to the back for Bruton. She has to relieve, and now it's suddenly North under pressure as this game flips. They've got players coming off the bench here for Paxman, but she fumbled at the wrong time. Paddling in the end was Gillespie Jones. Strong tackling work there from the D's. Sheriff involved as well.
They've lifted, haven't they? They're running in numbers. I'm not saying they haven't for the other three quarters, but there's a greater intent, knowing that, yes, they're up by a point, but they can't stop. They've got to keep going and get another score on that board.
And the psychology of the game changes again. Now it's North doing the chasing. Kick forward, Paxman to Zanker. Oh, what a comeback it's been.
And Zanker could be the star here. She's just put the D's in front, and now she's taken a mark about 35 out. She's such a fantastic young talent and really lights up that forward line.
And it was this game last year when they went down to Freo in similar conditions. 2 goals, 11 possessions, a bunch of hit-outs as well. She's going to try and turn provider here. Didn't take her chance either, and North have the door ajar again. You can see Eden Zanker holding her hands up almost in frustration. Free kick for holding the footy as well. So North let off the hook here. Free kick goes the way of Tani Nesta. Former Blue pushes wide or one-on-one. Gillespie Jones and Colvin. Bannister's going to wait for it on the bounce. Birch bearing down, tried to buy some time for Gillespie Jones. O'Day comes through, wriggles the hips, goes back towards Zanker. North have to do the work here. Bannister did well.
And you just see the numbers that Melbourne have around the contest as well, and I think that's really important, making sure that your strong midfielders step up and really impact the contest when they can.
Melbourne in familiar territory here. Every one of these round 1 games at Casey across the first 3 seasons has been a thriller. They've been on the wrong side of the ledger in 2 of those as well. Carney taken high, umpire spotted it. Free kick will go the way of the Kangas captain against Gearan. Again, looks corridor, she hangs it for Riddell. Well done, Scott, got all that Sharon, but maybe a little bit of Ash Riddell on the way through as well.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. It was a beautiful defensive act, but unfortunately just cleaned up Ash Riddell on the way through. Straight
off the line into the corridor, but the ball holds up in the breeze, and this is the area, if Melbourne can turn it over, they're out. Scott just tried to bundle her Kangaroos opponent out of the way, and Nesta. We're going to have a stoppage in the centre of the ground, and you can can see now players just funneling back through that left of screen channel to try and create for North a structure forward, and for the Kangaroos a defensive unit that can stop them.
And you could just see Paxi there really using her leadership to really send her forward line back, because if they win the ball, they need to be able to get that ball forward.
Gearin was taken high by Ash Riddell. She's having an influence on the contest here in these last few minutes. Maddie Gearin, second-year D, just trots off her line. She got Pearce inboard, draws Riddell. Too much on the hand pass. The skipper's got to commit. Low down was Gibson. Riddell capitalises off to the speedy Ashmore. Didn't get the kind bounce. She's got plenty of Ds in front of her for this kick. Needs to be clever with it. Buys some time with a high ball. Downey under it. King for company. Horrible bounce for all concerned. Lampard tries to get away from Gillespie Jones. Alicia King gathers. Off to Ashmore. Stayed involved in the play. Snaps back inboard. North sensing a moment here. Bannister couldn't get boot to ball. Huge defence from the Ds. O'Day, steady as she goes. Tumbles it inboard for her partner in crime, Paxman.
Bannister's still down behind play. Nudge as well. She was grabbing that shoulder. Taken down in a big tackle of defence.
Paxman found Heath. She'll go into the centre corridor. Newman off her fingertips. Gathering Kemp. Cunningham to Scott. Again, numbers forward, but a free kick. It's going the way of the Ds, and they were out there. They had numbers forward of the ball, and you could see Kate Hall's head snap back in frustration. There's Daria Bannister just cradling her AC joint and sort of shoulder area, and she's coming off. And she's had a horrible run with injury as well. We saw it did her knee as part of the Dogs list, made a return. What a wonderful moment it was seeing her kick that goal at Marvel Stadium last year, and coming off a league best and fairest season in Tasmania as well. There was a push, a big one at that. Free kick's going to go the way of Kemp.
Yeah, that was a big one, given away by Vivian Sard, by the looks of things.
Ainsley Kemp has never kicked an AFLW goal in her 8 matches so far. Daria Bannister working her way towards the bench. We'll get an update from Sam Lane in a moment.
Yeah, 2 hands straight in the back. Very obvious one there.
The only blot on Vivian Sard's copybook on debut today. Chance for Kemp. He'll get right towards the line, off hands. Well done from North's defence to make sure that was paddled out of bounds rather than through for a very valuable point.
And Scott Gowans was only, I guess, last week talking about how great it was having Daria Bannister back out on the park. She's had an excellent pre-season. She has suffered so much injuries over the last few years, and yeah, it'll be devastating if she's hurt it in round 1.
Part of this North Melbourne Tasmanian Kangaroos Apple Isle unit. Free kick against Sard. 2 in a minute here against the Kangas debutant in the ruck, and now Shelley Scott, who's already had a virtual sider from this position, can try and give Melbourne a 7-point lead.
It'd be great to see some numbers there from Melbourne getting closer to that goal line. If you look at the wind, and a couple of times it's fallen just short, so it'd be nice to see a few more players down there.
Hasn't kicked an AFLW goal since the opening match of 2019 here against Fremantle. Shelley Scott starts it right, works it left. Can double the D's advantage to 2 points.
With 3 minutes 20 to go, if I was North, I'd be looking to work the ball down pretty quickly, and they really have to take some chances and take some risks here.
Clubs workshop these scenarios, Sarah, and North need to go into the mode that's going to get them coast to coast here. Gillespie Jones couldn't mark. Gay inboard for Pearce. Couldn't gather. Scott does. Works her way free. Lampard will retreat. Goldrick back to Birch. Bumped as she kicked, but it was okay for Pearce through her hands. Big contest here. Carney paddles, Gavalis stripped. Here comes Goldrick, and the D's are winning the little moments inside the contest.
They really are, and you can just see some moments of frustration coming into that North Melbourne game. And Daisy Pearce, yes, she could have really taken that marker and steadied them heading inside 50, but they'll get the ball in here long and hopefully hit up a target.
Hanks, it's almost a little push there on Scott. Gilroy gathers free of Newman. Bruton forward for Lynch, goes back to Gilroy. Clever play down the line for Bateman. Options inboard. Maybe had to go kick rather than a hand pass for Gavalis. Plenty of D's there. Heath underground for Hanks, told to kick forward. Composed but not the required distance for Kemp. Chance here for Wright to gather on her debut. Gives it off to Nesta. Can North now prise the door open? Carney bumped solidly there by Kemp. Did well. She receives from Lampard. Kemp's kick beats a couple of sets of hands. 1-on-1 here for Cunningham. Paddle battled it through Randall. Can Cunningham reach down and win this game? She gathers, she's tackled, she's gone. Play continues on. Melbourne again with the numbers. Hoare out for Paxman, surrounded by blue and white stripes. Stripped, it works its way back to her. Gavalis paddling as Hanks. Clever in the pocket. Bananas forward for Cunningham. Off her chest. Went bump rather than tackle Cunningham. Randall clears. 90 seconds to play at Casey Fields. Is that touched? It's a lasso. It's a Melbourne ball, and Daisy Pearce can try and ice this clock. Can Daisy Pearce get the win on her AFLW return? 694 days since walking off the Whitten Oval, missing out on a grand final. Wants to sing the song again. Flights this kick. Scott, almost enough. Gay, paddling. Bumped out of it by Gavalis. Nesta, Carney, Randall. One last push, but Melbourne have got a wall back there. Birch has usually been the main brick this afternoon. Kicks back inside 50, Garner. There's exactly the +1 Scott Gowans wanted set up.
They're going to have to roll the dice here. There's a minute left of play.
North into the 60-second drill. Gillespie, Jones and Zanker, a huge one-on-one. They all are right now. Colvin over the top, 10 tackling from the Ds, and precious seconds tick by. Sarah, what's the setup here for North? What are they got to do?
I think they just need to get the ball into their 50. So if I was them, I'd be trying all I can to push the ball forward and get it attacking.
Gillespie Jones has snuck through off the stoppage here. They couldn't get it to her. Melbourne have wiped another 10 seconds. Gay on hands and knees. She gathers, taken high. Play down in Zanker, free kick Melbourne. And they're
They just need to be
a sequence of possession away here.
Melbourne can get one or two short chip kicks and just chip away at the clock. I think they'll have
He's
this.
got Daisy Pearce behind her. Takes it to half forward. Cunningham splits the pack. Hoare, can she finish things off after she was the one to keep them alive? Cunningham piles in. It's been a little bit of Tegan Cunningham's day as well. 6 possessions, 3 marks, 2 contested, but she's done some heavy work, 4 tackles as well. Gavalis, clearing ball. And there it is. Melbourne, again, a hard starter to start their season, and Daisy gets the W on return. Melbourne by 2 points in the season opener over the Roos.